Today, we are going to watch the story of an extraordinary fantasy adventure movie called Willow, where everyone was helpless under the oppression and tyranny of the evil queen named Bemora. The prophecy there says that during the reign of this evil and powerful queen Bemora, a child born with a special mark on his hand will be the cause of Queen Bemora's death. Therefore, Queen Bemora used to kill the newborn babies in her kingdom to gain immortality, and suddenly one day that special child was born. And to save the special child from the evil queen, a dwarf farmer named Willow embarks on a dangerous journey. Everything that happens to him on that journey is full of action and adventure. Stay tuned to find out if Willow was able to save the special child in the end. Until the last moment of the video, I hope you like the story of this movie. So without further ado, let's begin the story. At the beginning of the movie, we are shown a prison cell belonging to Queen Bemora. The queen has imprisoned all the pregnant women in her kingdom here. And when the women give birth to a child, the queen kills the child immediately, so that the child doesn't grow up to be the cause of his death. In fact, the queen is doing this to gain her immortality, because the prophecy there states that during the reign of the powerful queen Bemora, a child born with a scar on his hand will cause the death of Queen Bemora. Then we see a pregnant woman giving birth to a child, and as soon as the child is born, the queen's men go and deliver the news to the queen. Then the woman begs the queen's midwife to save her child. Seeing the woman's plea, the midwife takes pity and carries the child in a basket and leaves the palace, avoiding everyone's attention. On the other hand, when the queen approaches the woman and does not find the child, she becomes very angry and orders her men to kill the child immediately wherever she finds it, and to send her ferocious dogs. Then the child's mother told the queen that he would definitely return, but you died. On the other hand, the nurse took the child and went to a forest far away from the queen's palace. Then he heard the sound of the queen's ferocious dogs. Hearing the roar of ferocious dogs in the forest, she threw the child into the river, so that the ferocious dogs cannot harm the child. But those ferocious dogs came and killed the witch doctor. The child floated in the river and stopped at a place. 2 dwarf children saw the child floating there. Seeing this, the children called their father, who was named Willow. Willow said that it was a child. Willow said that she was not like us. Willow said that she was not an alien. Willow said that she looked like a witch's child. They said that because everyone in the area where they were staying said that Bam was Willow's daughter. She was so beautiful. Willow said that she was Willow's son. Can we keep her with us? Willow said no. We will now float her down the stream and forget that we saw her. Don't tell anyone that we saw her. At that time, someone called Willow. She told her children to stay here, but don't touch the child. She said that she left. When Willow came out, a man from her village came to her and said that you stole my seed. Willow said that I didn't steal your seed. I made it with my magic. The man said to Willow, I will see you later. The man left. Meanwhile, Willow's wife Kaya went to her children on the bank of the river and was very happy to see the child. She took the child with her to their home. Willow forbids his wife from doing so, but due to fear of wild animals, Willow's wife takes the child to their home. Kaya sees a small mark on the child's hand. Willow tells his wife and children not to tell anyone about this child. Kaya tells Willow that we should take this child to the panchayat. Willow says that it will be very bad. Everyone in the village will blame us because this child is not from our tribe. The next morning, Willow goes to the village fair with her children, and there she shows the villagers her magic. Willow tries to make a piglet disappear with her magic, but seeing that her magic was not working here, everyone there starts making fun of her. Just then, the village headman arrives. He was a very great magician. He will choose 3 people from the village to teach him magic. So he kept taking the test. Willow participates there, but no one can pass the chief's test. Just then, the bloodthirsty, terrifying creature sent by Queen Bemora came to attack them, because of which all the dwarfs in the village started running away from there in fear. Seeing this, some brave men from the village came there and killed the animal. Then they learned that the creature had come here in search of a child. Hearing this, Willow ran to Kaya's house, calling her name. When he arrived home, he was very relieved to see his wife and child safe. Willow tells Kaya, we can't keep the baby with us like this. Then Willow took the child to the village chief, and they handed the child over to the villagers. Then they told the Burgle Court chief that we should hand this child over to Queen Bemora. Willow said that they would kill the child. The village chief said that this child is very special. It has some amazing powers, and we should hand it over to a deity so that it will be safe there. Then the village chief asked Willow and some brave people from the village to accompany the child on a journey to reach the deity. Now they were preparing to take the child somewhere else. The next morning, they started their journey, and when they walked some distance from their village, they decided to rest for a while. On the other hand, Queen Bemora ordered her people to find the child very quickly so that she could sacrifice the child and become immortal. Then we see Queen Bemora's soldiers searching for the child and reaching the place where Willow and her companions were resting. Willow and her companions saw Queen Bemora's soldiers and hid in the bushes to escape from them. After some time, when the wicked queen's soldiers left from there, they start their journey again, and after going a little distance, they see a man in a cage. When the man in the cage sees Willow and his friends, he begs to free him from the cage, but Willow forbids her friends to do so. Bergalkut tells Willow that we should give him this child because he is a deity. But Willow does not want to give the child to a criminal because Willow does not think that the person is right. Bergalkut tells Willow that the village chief gave us this order. When Willow did not listen to him, he got angry and took him with his people and left. But Willow and her friend decided to stay there. The next morning, Willow saw a troop passing by. Willow asked the troop to take the child with them, but none of them agreed to it. Willow told the commander of that troop, Eric, to take the child with him. The commander gave Willow a suggestion that you should give the child to a woman. Then the commander, he meets the prisoner, whose name is Mad Matron, and tells the Mad Matron commander to free him from this cage. But Commander Eric tells him that Kylie attacked our castle and destroyed everything. So we are going to punish Kylie for what she did, and I think you deserve to be in this cage. Saying that, they all leave. And Willow didn't understand anything now. What should he do now? But then Mad Martin tries to convince Willow again. He tells Willow that he had a daughter too. I loved him more than my own life, but he is dead. If you set me free, I will raise this child with love as if it were my own daughter. And Willow thought a lot and realized that she had no other choice but to do this. Because how long will he wander around like this? He also has to return to his wife and children. That's why Willow frees Mad Matin, and he gives that child to her. And Willow said to Mad Matin, "You promised that you would take care of this child like your own daughter." Mad Matin reassured Willow, and she took the child with her. Then Willow and her friend happily started to return to their village. Then Willow heard the child's cry and saw a bird holding the child with its claws and carrying it somewhere. On the back of that bird was a little man. Then those little men attacked Willow and her friend. While running away from them, Willow and her friend fall into a trap set by the little people. Really, little people are called brownies. The brownies tied them both up and imprisoned them, and then an angel appeared there, and he tells Willow, "Willow, you are a good person." In this, the Willow Fairy asks, "Who told you my name?" Then the angel said, "Elora." Then Willow said she was just a little child. "How did she tell you my name?" In response, the fairy said, "Elora was no ordinary child, and she herself had chosen you as her protector, and that is why you must take this little child to a safe and secure place." Then the fairy told her to go to a magician. Along with this, the fairy gave Willow a magic wand. The next morning, Willow told her friend to return to their village. Then she said goodbye to her friend, and as the fairy had said, she continued on her journey, taking 2 brownies with her. Along the way, a brownie man informs Willow about Queen Bemora. Then Willow arrived at an inn, where everyone was intoxicated. There, Willow asks a woman for milk for Elora, but the woman tells Willow to leave. Now Willow takes the child to another room. That's where the 2 brownies come out of Willow's pockets. Then a brownie saw a cat there, and when he saw the cat and went to give it a kiss, the cat scared him. And out of fear, he fell into a beer drum. The brownie was very happy when he found out it was a beer drum. Here we see someone Mad Matin. He is having a happy moment there with a woman. Just then, the woman's husband entered the inn, and Mad Matin took off the woman's clothes to hide himself. Willow gets very angry when she sees Mad Matin, because he came here and did all this instead of protecting the child. Just then, the woman's husband arrived there. The woman introduced Mad Matin as her sister. Hearing this, the woman's lustful husband wants to have sex with the disguised Mad Matin. It was then that Mad Matin took the baby from Willow's hands and into her own arms. But then Queen Bemora's soldiers and her daughter Sasa arrived there. No agrees to take Willow with him, because the island that Willow wants to go to will be the one that Madame Matino will pass by. So he tells Willow that you can follow me. On the other hand, Queen Bemora tells Kaylee that she wants that baby no matter what. Time is running out. Go find him quickly. On the other hand, it gets dark as Willow leaves, so they light a fire under a big tree in the forest and take shelter. There, Willow tells Madam that this baby is very sweet when he is quiet. She might be a princess. If Mad Matin says this, then I am the King of Kashmir. Saying this, he falls asleep. Then he took the magic wand given by the fairy and tried to perform magic with it. And indeed, with the magic of that stick, he climbs the tree. Later that morning, they arrived at an island while walking, where a famous magician named Raziel lives. Madam takes them there and says goodbye to the child and sets off for her destination. Then Willow takes a boat to an island and calls the magician. Willow sees a sugar glider there. The sugar glider asks Willow who you are and why you are here. She says, I am Willow. I have come here to find a great magician named Rigel. A fairy sent me here with this wand. Are you the magician Rigel? The sugar glider says, Yes, tell me what you have come for. Willow tells her, I have come here to deliver the child safely to its mother, but why are you not returning to your original form? The magician Rigel says, Actually, Queen Bemora has made me a sugar glider with her magic. If you want, you can turn me back into a human with the magic wand you have. Willow says, I am a farmer, so I can use the magic of this wand a little bit. But then Cucumber, along with his soldiers, reaches there and captures Mad Matin and takes Alora away. He takes Willow away and takes her prisoner with him. As it gets dark, they set up camp for the night. There, Rigel tells Willow that she will use the magic wand to restore her to her previous form. Rigel then tells Willow to recite a spell. Willow recites the spell and tries her best to restore Rigel to her original form. But who does Rigel turn into from a sugar glider? Just then, the two brownies who came with Willow also arrived there, and the two of them started to open the cage, but Mad Marin tells them to hurry up. Just then, a brownie tried to hit the cage lock with a bag of magic powder around his neck, but the bag hit Mad Matin in the nose. The magic powder puts Mad Marine in a romantic mood. Then they got out of the cage and found Alora. That's when Willow saw Alora inside the cucumber tent. Mad Matin secretly enters the cucumber tent to bring Alora. But Mad Matin gets back into a romantic mood when he sees Sasa sleeping there and moves forward to kiss her. Just then, Sasa woke up and, holding a knife in her hand, threatened him and told him to get out of the tent. But Mad Marin refused to go out. He tells Sasha, You are very beautiful, and I love you. Cucumber tells him, I will kill you. Mad Marin says, It's insignificant to your love. In the midst of all this, Willow tries to escape with Alora. But then the cucumber soldiers grabbed Willow and brought her inside the tent. Just then, when Sasha tried to attack Mad Matin hit the tent pole with a hammer. As a result, the tent collapsed and fell on them. From there, Mad Matin began attacking Sasha's soldiers. At one point, Mad Matin deceives the soldiers and begins to escape by skating with Willow and the child. While skating, they crossed many icy mountains and traveled far away. At one point, Mad Marin fell while descending a snowy mountain. And it keeps rolling, and Willow reaches a village with Ilra. Then we see Mad Matin. He has turned into a ball of ice as he rolls. When Mad Matin came out after breaking the ice ball, he told Willata, You almost killed us in your love affair with Sasa. To this, Mad Matin says, I don't love him in any way. He kicked me in the face. Among these, the transformed magician Rigel also arrives there. Meanwhile, while chasing them, the crematorium soldiers also reached that village. They hid in a house in the village to escape the soldiers. There, Mad Matin's friend Eric sees Mad Matin and says, So you've finally gotten out of that mousetrap. At this, Madam gets angry and says, You left me to die, Eric? Eric explains to her that I probably saved your life. Just then, Sasha enters the room with her soldiers. Then Mad Martin takes the opportunity and takes Sasha into his arms and holds a knife to Sasha's throat, frightening the soldiers and telling them to go back. Eric asks Willow, What do you want to do with this child? Willow says she is a princess. We are taking her to Terraslin. At this, Eric says, But you will never be able to cross the river. Willow says there is a large army in Tilly. We can reach there. At this, Eric tells Mad Martin that I have lost many of my soldiers while stealing and robbing, and you always tell me that you are not serving anyone. So I did not help you either, but now I understand that I am an incompetent thief. So now I want to help you. Then Mad Martin comes out with Shmush, and the soldiers start moving towards him. At this, Mad Martin says you drop your weapons. At this, the soldiers drop their weapons. They took the opportunity to stab the princess in the throat and escaped from there. When the soldiers of the tomb were about to chase them, Eric attacked the soldiers of the tomb with his soldiers and repelled them. Meanwhile, the Willows came to a place and said to Sasa Madmatin, "You said yesterday in my tent, 'Am I your moon or the sun, and do you love me?' Sasa Madmatin deceived her by saying these words and escaped from her. Izello, who had transformed into whom, came with them. Then Willow and Madmatin continued to move forward. After some time, they reached an old ruined palace, where everyone had turned into stone. Here, Madmatin found some old weapons and an armor suit. Then Madmatin started setting a trap for the soldiers chasing them. Meanwhile, Willow stood by the magic staff and tried to turn Rizel back into her original form again. But at that moment, Queen Bemora appeared there. The soldiers arrive and her attention is diverted, causing Rigel to turn from a crow into a goat. Meanwhile, Madmatino prepares to fight Queen Bemora's soldiers. By this time, Queen Bemora's soldiers break through the main door of the palace and enter the palace, and a fight begins between them. During the fight, Willow encounters a chimpanzee. Then Willow hits it with the magic wand. That's when a strange thing happens. It turns out that the chimpanzee has turned into a strange monster. Then the monster throws fire at Willow. Willow hides behind a rock to escape from the monster. Then the monster catches Queen Bemora's soldiers in front of her and starts eating them. And now we see Cucumber there. She truly loves Madmatino after seeing her fighting skills and bravery. Meanwhile, Madmatino jumps on the monster and hits the monster on the head with her sword. As a result, she kills the monster. His head exploded and he died. Seeing such bravery of Sasha Madmatin, at one point he pulled Madmatin close to him and kissed him. But at one point in the fight, when he saw Kylie running away with Alora, Sasha also joined Madmatin. Then Kylie took Alora with her and ran away from there. Then we see Eric coming there with his soldiers. And with them were the two brownies. Even though Eric faced Kali on the road, Eric could not catch Kali. Meanwhile, Willow was disappointed and told Madmatin that they had taken Alora. Meanwhile, Kali reached Queen Bemora's palace with Alora and took Alora and handed her over to the queen. Kali also told Queen Bemora that her daughter Sasha has now joined hands with her enemies. Meanwhile, all the Madmatins reached Bemora's palace. There, the magician Rigel, in the form of a goat, told Willow that "You can stop the queen. You start reciting the spell very carefully again." Willow does exactly that, but she can't concentrate well, because of which Willow brings the sorceress Rigel into the form of different animals. Finally, Willow is able to return the sorceress Rigel to her original form. Meanwhile, Queen Bemora uses her magic to turn all of Madmatin's companions into pigs. Then Queen Bemora starts a ritual to control Alora. When Rigel returns to her original form, she uses the magic wand to return all of Willow's companions to their previous forms. Then they all make a plan together. The next morning, according to their plan, Willow and the sorceress Rigel come to the door of Queen Bemora's palace and start provoking the queen's soldiers. Seeing this, Kyle orders her soldiers to kill them both. When Kyle's soldiers open the door of the palace and attack Willow and Rigel, he alerts all the soldiers of his team through the signal. And as soon as the gate opens and Kyle's soldiers leave, according to Willow's plan, Madmatino Eric, who is hiding there, enters the palace of Queen Bemora with their soldiers, and a fight starts between Kylie and Eric's soldiers. During this fight, Willow, Rizel, and Sasa reach there, where Queen Bemora is performing a ritual on Alora. After they reach there, Sasa kills Bemora's companions one by one to stop Queen Bemora. Queen Bemora gets angry and uses her magic power to lift her daughter Sasa into the air and imprison her in a thorny cage. But then, Rizel saves Sasa with her magic stick, but Sasa faints. Then Rizel tells Bemora that "I have regained my magic power." Saying this, Rizel attacks Queen Bemora with that magic stick, but after many attempts, the magician Rigel cannot defeat Queen Bemora. At one point, the Bemora started fighting to take the magic wand from Rigel. During this fight, Willow, who was hiding behind the wall, took the opportunity to approach Alora. But when she tried to approach Alora, she had to face many obstacles. On the other hand, Mad Martin also attacked and defeated Eric Bemora's soldiers. And in this war, those two brownies were supporting them. At one point during the fight between Kylie and Eric, Kylie stabbed Eric in the stomach several times, due to which Eric died. Mad Martin chased Kylie. While chasing, Mad Martin encountered Kylie on a high place, and they started fighting. At one point in the fight, Mad Martin inserted his sword into Kyle's stomach and threw him down from above and killed him. Meanwhile, Bemora knocked the sorceress Rigel unconscious. But by then, Willow was running away with Elora, and this was the queen. When Bemora saw her, she closed all the doors of the palace with her magic power, and she asked Willow, "Who are you? And quickly give me that child back." In response, she said, "I am Willow, and you may not know that I am greater than you, even superior." Hearing this, Queen Bemora started laughing. Then she took out a fruit from her pocket and threw it at Queen Bemora. Queen Bemora took the fruit in her hand, and as soon as she caught it, Queen Bemora's hand started turning into stone. But Bemora recovered it with her magic power and told Willow that the range of your magic power is very small. Willow got scared. Queen Bemora said, "Now you will see how I will send this child, who is drawn on the power of the universe, to another world. You put him on the goddess." Willow said no. "You are very stupid because now I will send him to a kingdom where no evil force can touch him." Bemora said, "There is no such place." Then Willow wished Elora well and recited the mantra 3 times. Seeing that Elora disappeared, Queen Bemora got angry and started screaming. And at that moment, lightning came from the sky and hit Queen Bemora. Queen Bemora died due to that lightning and turned into red smoke and disappeared into the air. And we see that Cucumber and the magician Rizal regained their consciousness. Then Mad Marno came there. Then Willow did magic again and brought Elora back to her. Seeing this, everyone was happy. Later, when Didi and Willow was saying goodbye to them to go to her village, Rizal gave Willow a magic book and said, "You will be a great magician." Then Willow handed Elora over to Cucumber and Mad Martin, wished Elora well, said goodbye to everyone, and left for her village. Then when Willow reached her village, the people of her village started giving her a warm welcome. Then the head of their village also came there and praised Willow. Then Willow. By magic, an apple is turned into a pigeon and flies away. Everyone is happy to see this. Then Willow meets his wife and child and hugs them. And with this happy ending, the story of this beautiful fantasy adventure movie ends here.